One thing I love doing this time of year is planning out my content. Why? Because I want to step into the new year knowing that I have a lot more free time available because I'm not waiting and trying to figure out all of my content every day. I am not part of that hamster wheel. Nuh-uh. Instead, I take an afternoon and I plan out my entire year's worth of content across all of the platforms our brand is on. So if you're a digital entrepreneur or a coach and you're looking to create content that connects to your ideal audience, to your ideal customers, well, stay tuned because this video is for you. Actually, this entire series is for you. That's right. We now are launching. This is video number 1 in the series. We're launching it. We're talking about creating your year of content in an afternoon. So follow along with me and let's get started. First off, let's talk about the reality. If you fail to plan, you're just planning on failing. That's right. If you don't have a strategy and a plan moving into your next year, you're likely going to be floundering. You're not going to see the same levels of success that you would if you had A, created your goals, B, put together your roadmap for success. And I know over the course of a year, if you don't have a plan for your content, you're going to be spending way more than just a few hours planning out your content if you do it day by day. I know because I used to do that. I felt like I was literally running on a hamster wheel. Every day was like, where is the freedom I'm supposed to feel and experience as an entrepreneur, as the person who runs my own business? That's why I got into this in the first place. I want that freedom over my own time, but I was spending all of my time creating content. And then I figured out this system. Actually, my friend Jim Beard showed me this system and it has changed everything. It's changed the way that we prepare our content. It's changed the way that we plan our content, and it has freed up so much of my time. So I want to share this with you. But before I share the rest of the system with you, make sure you download your copy of the Visibility Hacking Year of Content Workbook. You can follow along with what we're going to do in this series. You can get that absolutely free. The links are down in the description. And while you're at it, since you're down in that area, I want to know from you guys, have you been planning out your content in the past? Have you tried other systems? Have you felt locked into other systems? Or have you felt completely vagged out by other frameworks and other methodologies? Well, let me know down in the comments. And if you're not someone who plans their content at all, I want to know about the obstacles you face. Like, has it actually been as relaxed and fulfilling and free as they say it is? Or did you have a different experience? Let me know down in the comments. All right, here we go. So we are going to talk about creating your year of content. Well, your year of content starts with one big statement. What is the one big thing that your people need to believe in order for everything else to make sense? As our mentor, Russell Brunson, says, what do you need to say to them? What do they need to hear in order for them to just start throwing their credit cards at you? Actually, come to think of it, that didn't sound like a Russell Brunson quote at all. That sounded like someone else. Anyways, what is that one big thing that your people need to believe in order for everything else that you say to make sense, for them to believe in what you're doing and join your movement? Because all of the content we create is created for the purpose of connection. to speak to the stories that our ideal audience is already either telling themselves or experiencing. So if we can create the right pathway through the content we create, then boy, oh boy, that connection is built and we're no longer creating content for the sake of content. That's what happens when you're on that hamster wheel. Say you're a fitness coach and you focus primarily on balance and core strength. Well, simply to figure out what your one big thing is, what your big domino is if people can believe that balance and core strength is the key to success, then they have to believe what it is you're saying. Say you're a video coach and you focus on short form content. Well, if you can get people to believe that short form content is the key to their success, then they have to give you money. That's it. That's the Russell Brunson quote. If people can believe that one big thing, then they have to give you money. So Russell Brunson's example of this is if people can believe that funnels are the key to their success, and then they will have to give you money because you've just laid it out for them. All right, so once you've figured out that one big thing, what you're going to do next is figure out what your 4 or 5 main pillars are. This is what holds up your system. So let's go back to the example of that fitness coach who focuses on core and balance. So maybe one of the pillars is exercise. Another one could be mobility. No, let's fix those. We could have strength, mobility, balance, strength, mobility, balance, and diet, let's say. Say those are the 4 pillars. Now we understand what encompasses that one big thing. Let's try a completely different example. Let's go to that video coach who does short form content. So maybe part of the short form content system is what we teach here in the visibility hacking world. You're talking about hello content, repurpose content, qualification content. These are those main pillars. And surprise, surprise, those are actually part of our year of content process that you'll be seeing later in 2023. So keep your eyes peeled and on a lookout for that. And you can find them very simply by hitting the subscribe button and joining us here on the channel. You can consider yourself an official visibility hacker. So you figured out what the one big thing is you need your customers to believe in order for them to need to give you money. And the second thing you've done is figured out what are the core pillars of your business. What makes up your systems and your framework, and what are the essentials to finding success in your business with your framework or in your industry with your framework? The next thing you're going to do is look at each of those pillars individually and give me a step-by-step process. Give me a 3 or 4 point process of how you're going to create that. How do you achieve X, Y, or Z? Let's look at the example of our fitness coach. We came up with a variety of different pillars. Let's pick one of them, drill down a little bit deeper. So let's start with the balance pillar. Well, balance can be broken down into at least 3 different parts. It could be our visual system, our vestibular system, or our proprioceptor system. Proprioceptic system or something like that. So we want to be able to use each of those as a different process in understanding and achieving optimal balance. I know this isn't a video about balancing, but I want you to see how we can break down each of those pillars into simple systems to understand. We can also take a different approach. So let's look at a very simple process like we would have with our video coach. What are the 4 steps you need in order to create your short form content? Well, we might need to script it out. We might need to prepare for shooting and recording. We might want to edit at the end of our recording. And then we might want to talk about posting and the keys and tips and strategies that go along with getting more eyeballs on your content. That's a very simple 4-step process in achieving that goal at the end result. So whether you're taking this step to either introduce new information like we talked about with our coach, looking at different perspectives on the same problem, or we take our video coach example and we create a process, a step-by-step instruction, what I want you to do is create and flesh out those pillars and those processes. So that's it. You're going to do this for each and every one of your pillars. It's going to take you a little bit of time, but set a timer for 45 minutes. Flesh it out. Put some time and energy into this because we're going to get even deeper in the next video.